Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning to you. All right, welcome to another Me First Moments TV. Welcome. I am your host, Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson. Thank you. So good to be here. And I am an energy practitioner who helps people simplify transformation through the Me First method, which I developed for over 12 years. I have used this method with clients and personally to move through some really challenging times. So I just want to say welcome. We're going to do this together. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to be doing the show again a little bit more regularly for those of you who used to follow me and know kind of the life transformations that I've been through. And that is really what I'm going to be talking about on this show primarily, is how to go through life transformations, how to restart when you've been thrown for a loop because of life circumstances, right? And I have to say, healing and transformation, it's really about connecting with your inner guidance and practicing stepping into the person who you need to become, right? Like you need to become this person in order to deal with the challenges you are facing. And this is about evolution. This is about stepping into that evolved version of you. And if each of us are stepping into the evolved versions of us, then that means we are all elevating together. That means humanity gets to evolve. And that's really what we need most, right? We need to evolve. Okay, so let me know if you are watching. I just want to make sure that everything is working. Tell me that you can hear me. Tell me that you can see me. And if you're enjoying it, tell me that you're having a good time. That would be great. So, Me First is the practice of calibrating your energy. I often talk about calibrating your energy, but really what it's like is that calibrating your energy is emotional regulation. And I know we've heard a lot about that lately because emotion is energy in motion. So if we want to calibrate our energy in motion, if we want to calibrate our energy, we need to be paying attention to the motion of the energy, how it's feeling, where it's going, what it's doing, right? And we want to address that. And in order to shift your energy and start creating lasting change, because you need to start with the energetic realm, you need to start with kind of like how you're feeling and what's going on with you. You need to start there first. You must calibrate to your new life circumstances. If you're looking to change, right, to shift your energy and create lasting change, you need to first calibrate to where you are now that things have changed. You need to calibrate to these new life circumstances, whatever they may be. In my case, it was, most recently is that I became a widow. That's a whole new life circumstance. It's a whole new ball of wax that I'm dealing with that I haven't had to deal with before. So it's going to take time to calibrate to that circumstance in my life, right? And for you, it may be something else. You may have lost a job. You may have had life changes. You may have had health challenges. And that has created this loss of identity, this loss of sense of self, because you don't know who you are in these new circumstances. And that's kind of what I want to help you with. And that's what Me First is really about. And so, in order to do this, we have to learn how to calibrate. And really learning how to calibrate is about practicing stepping into that energy of the person who's going to get you through this. All right. So how do you do that? Great question. That's what we're going to talk about today. So join me for the Me First practice, which we are going to do. That just gets things started. That's going to get ourselves and our energy grounded and at a nice baseline. And then we're going to talk about the 3 things that you can do to create effective and lasting change in your life. Good morning. Hi, Mom. Yes, please say hi if you're here. I don't know if I can see everybody's chat. I think I can. But yeah, say hi. I want to see who's around. Okay, so let us do this Me First practice together. So let's begin. And the way that I like to do it, the way I used to do it last time was a little bit more involved, lighting the candle, essential oils, all those things are good. But what I really want to teach you and what I really want to practice together is how simple it can be to get yourself grounded, to regulate yourself, to get started on the right foot. Now, if you're already in a place where you are stressed out and overwhelmed, it's really hard to think and function from that place. So the first thing you have to do is like bring your energy inward, right? And how do we do that? Well, that's what we're going to do together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Sorry, there's that heater. There's that heater again that's like hot in my room. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is take 3 deep breaths. I want you to take them with me. You're going to breathe in for 5 seconds. You're going to hold for 5 seconds. And then you're going to release for 10 seconds. And we like to extend the exhale because that sends a signal to our parasympathetic nervous system, to that vagus nerve that sort of controls how we manage things. And it tells it that we're okay. It is a way for us to let our system know, hey, we're okay. Nothing bad is happening right now. Because if it was, you wouldn't have time to extend that breath, right? All right, so let's do that. 3 deep breaths starting now. Deep breath in, let's go. And hold. And release. I want you to feel your shoulders like relaxing too when you do that. Okay? Sorry. Getting a call. All right. Next breath. Here we go. Deep breath in. Hold. And release. And you see how I'm keeping my lips pursed? It's a great tactic to extend that breath. There you go. Now, last breath, deep breath in. And hold. And release. And beautiful. Okay, now let's do a little stretching, right? That's next for us is what we want to do is we want to stretch. I do a lot of, oops, there goes my headphone. What you want to do is you want to stretch sort of the parts of your body that feel stuck or stagnant or stiff, right? Because any sort of stagnant, stuck, stiff energy is blocked energy, right? It's like jammed up, right? And we want to flow. We want to create flow as much as possible. So the stretching is going to release some of that, hopefully also some of the pain if you're feeling pain. And I want you to even think about just breathing in to those parts of the energy, right? And release it. Feel yourself releasing that stuck and stagnant energy so that you can start fresh today. And it might be hard and it might feel weird. And of course, if you have time to do yoga, even better. But I like to do just a quick little exercise because, quite frankly, it's better than nothing, right? So if we can just do 3 deep breaths, some stretching and shake it out, right? Woo! That's something that you can do at any time of day. You're having a moment, go to the bathroom, do those 3 things, right? You want to just take a deep breath or take 3 deep breaths. You want to stretch yourself out, give your body a sense of balance, right? Find your balance, find your physical foundation. That's what this helps. And then you shake it out, you shake out all of that excess energy, whatever you can get rid of, and whatever you can't, that's okay. We do it as many times as we need to throughout the day if we're feeling off. That's my recommendation. So once you do that, now what, right? So now we are going to we are going to set our intentions with a prayer. But first, before we go on, if you are watching, let me just remind you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? You can just go to YouTube at Me First Moments, and you will see that I have new episodes coming, hopefully every day. Whenever I can show up, I'm going to be here. And you can get a special gift. Download a free Me First guide, Me First reference guide, which includes how to calibrate your energy, which is something I talk about all the time. The Me First morning's ritual, so you can follow along with me and know what steps to do when and do it on your own. It will show you a quick GPS activity, your daily ABCs, and a simple guide to managing stress. All like 5 pages of jam-packed tips to help you get into your day in a way that feels in total alignment with what you need in your life, right? And of course, you can follow me on social media. Just go into the description and you can see all my handles there. All right, so now let's set, let's set an intention together and call. So I want you to just take a moment and think, set a little intention for yourself today, and I will call in my spiritual support team and say my little prayer so we can begin our day, and then we'll talk a little bit about those 3 things that you can do to create change, and then I'll pull a card for the collective and figure out what the energy is of the day to help you be more successful and productive in your day today. Okay, so here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, ancestors, my love, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of love and light connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. And thank you for showing us signs and synchronicities so that you may highlight all of the steps that we need to take for fun and ease in our lives to step into the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okay, here we go. So let's talk a little bit about what we've been talking about, right? So how do you create lasting and effective change in your life when you've been through big monumental events, whether it is loss, whether it is, health related, whether it is job related, whether your family is struggling financially or otherwise, right? There are big things that happen to us in our lives. And whether or not you are currently going through something, it's important to have the tools and the strategies to be able to approach these life challenges which come up. And I guarantee you, if you're watching this, you've got stuff going on, because right now I really believe that the entire collective is slogging through their personal challenges in order for us to create change and in order for humanity to evolve as a whole. And I can't evolve humanity, but we can begin, and I can begin with myself, and I can certainly help and support you. So please keep in mind, right? If you need support through any of this, through any transformation, please reach out to me through, direct message, through any of my social media channels. I definitely have spots available that I can help you out. Just don't forget, you do not have to do this alone. Okay, so you cannot create lasting and effective change in your life without first doing these 3 things. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet because it is really just important to focus. Number 1 is awareness, right? Awareness. You have to recognize where you are and where you want to go, taking into account your current circumstances and witnessing all of the pieces of the puzzle that are your life, right? And what has brought you to where you are right now without judgment, just awareness, right? So again, using myself as an example, understanding that I and my family have been through a lot, right? I have to accept that. I have to, acceptance is next. I have to be aware of that, right? Where you recognize and you just witness what you've been through in your life, whatever your personal challenge is. As much as we beat ourselves up sometimes, and I'm sure you're like this too, where it's like no matter what's going on, like you easily beat yourself up for not doing more or not succeeding in the things that you want to, not doing the things that you feel you should be able to. But I also know that you're probably discounting all the things that you've been through and all the situations and circumstances and experiences that may be a hindrance to you getting the things that you want. And instead of acknowledging that, you have been dismissing it and putting the blame on yourself. And that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. That's what I'm trying to do for us, for the collective, is let's release the guilt. Yes, accept responsibility, right? Yes, obviously, like we need to recognize how we got here and if we contributed in any way to the situation that we may or may not be happy with in our lives. But aside from that, you just need to have awareness and just be there and acknowledge that awareness in your life. Now, the second step is acceptance, right? I jumped ahead a little bit, but it's true. Once you recognize your current situation, right? I am this is kind of where I'm at right now. These are the circumstances in my life. These are the experiences. This is the perspective that I have because of who I am, but because of how society is structured, or whatever awareness you have come in contact with, right? Even this is something that you can work on with a professional, like a coach or a therapist, where you may need to take some time and really take stock in that awareness part of everything, not just like where you're at fault in your life or how you're to blame, but looking at the whole picture. And then acceptance comes when you take that time, that first step of awareness, and you really sit with it and validate your experiences. Then you can accept it, right? You must accept and embrace it for what it is. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't change your life or your circumstances or your path in the future. It simply means that you must accept your current life, your circumstances, and validate your present self, right? Because otherwise you're dismissing your whole life. If you don't take the time to really accept the situation for what it is, then you are denying it. And that denial will not allow you to move forward, right? If you are denying your circumstances, if you are denying the perspective or the experiences or anything that's happened in your life, if you are denying it, if you don't want to look at it, if you are not giving it the validation that it deserves, because everything deserves attention and validation, well, then you can't move on, right? You can't move on because you're not looking at it, right? You got to feel it to heal it, right? You have to feel the emotions about your circumstances. And in doing that, you learn to accept what is, right? And only when you accept what is can you move on to the next part, right? And what's the next part? Action, right? And you can only step into action once you've accepted things are the way they are. Because once you've accepted things are the way they are, without judgment, without shame or blame for yourself or others, because that's just a waste of time, awareness is not the same as blame. Okay. And there may be people to blame. That's a different video. Okay. But I'm just saying for yourself, right? Because this is me first. And it's about you taking control of your life, you validating your experiences, and you taking steps and taking actions that are going to improve your life directly. And in that improvement, it will sort of, energetically spill out to your friends, your family, your community. Hi, Anne. Hi, Isabel. Nice to see you guys. Okay, so now let's talk about that action, right? You don't just take any action. You must take the action that will propel you forward, right? And this is the hardest step, but it is the most important, because action is what is going to get the ball moving, right? Otherwise, you're just stuck or you're stagnant. You can have awareness, you can have acceptance, but if you don't then move forward in any way, you're just stuck in this place. And that's what we don't want. We want acceptance, we want validation, we want to recognize what's happening, but then you don't want to sit there for so long that then you become completely stagnant. And you always have the choice to take action, but action is what's going to start to create that lasting change. And what kind of action, right? You must be very clear on that first part, which was the awareness. And that first thing I said to you, the awareness of recognizing where you are and where you want to go. Okay, so once you're really clear on where you are and where you want to go, once you've accepted it, once you've become aware of it, then the action needs to be the thing that's going to help you get closer to where you want to go. And everything needs to be filtered through that particular piece of information, right? Where do you want to go? And how do you know where you want to go? You may not know, right? So that takes time. Go back to awareness, go back to acceptance, and the awareness of what you truly want in life, right? And that's when I talk about the GPS word. The GPS word is the feeling, right? And we're talking about energy, right? And we're talking how energy is, or emotions are energy in motion. So now we need to move our energy in the direction that we want, right? So what is the feeling? What is the energy that you want to feel the most? And I'm going to say this ad nauseum forever because it's the most important thing that you need to pay attention to, right? The thing that you're looking for the most in your life is the very thing you need to create, is the very action you need to take. And when you are able to take that action that creates that feeling for you, well, then you are well on your way to transformation. And that is the only thing that you should be focusing on. You should only be focusing on, how can I create this in my life? How can I embody this in my life? How can I practice adding this feeling into the world? What can I do to contribute this emotion, this feeling, this perspective into the world? And that is the action you need to take. Okay? So that's my little sermon for you guys today. And now I'm going to pull a card for the energy and let you guys know, what is the energy of the day? What do we need to be focusing on today for our well-being? Because that's the most important thing, right? The most important thing is that you have a foundation of well-being and that everything you do is focused on your well-being. Because if you are focused on your well-being and showing up, feeling good and shining that light as brightly as you can, well, guess what? Then you're shining the light for other people. You're shining it on them. You are also showing them how to shine their light. You are giving permission to people to show up just as they are, just by you showing up. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to, take any great, grandiose movements or actions, right? Just being yourself is what's going to help propel you into the life that you want, right? Like really being okay with being yourself and stepping into that person that you want to be and that you already are, but you've just been stopping yourself because life, society, there's always great reasons that we stop ourselves from succeeding in life, or that we stop ourselves from making moves. Primarily fear, right? Fear of change, fear of attention, fear of circumstances changing in our lives that we're not ready for, fear of overwhelm. What if things go really well and I can't handle it, right? That's why we practice, right? You're not going from step 1 to step 12, right? You practice every day, adjusting, practicing that emotion, practicing that feeling, practicing making choices that make that come alive. Okay? I know I'm getting off on a tangent again. Let's pull a card and see what the universe says, what the universe wants to say to us. I'm so glad you guys are here. Don't forget that if you have not subscribed yet, oh, that's a lot of noise. If you have not subscribed yet to my channel on YouTube, go to youtube.com @MeFirstMoments. Follow me on social media. I am so close to 1,000 followers on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, please go ahead and follow me because I would love to hit 1,000. And other than that, if you need me or you need support with any of this work, I got you. Just reach out to me. We'll make an appointment. We'll work through it. Okay? I'm really good with helping people make big decisions in life because I will help you to recognize your GPS and help you learn how to practice it and apply it to your life. All right, here we go. Pulling a card. Oh, okay, deck is stopped. Let's go. Wishing well is the card I pulled today. Look at this. Oh, this camera. I can never figure out the camera. Hold on. Let's go. Number 48. Can you see it? You can't see the number. There. I'm not good with the camera here. Okay, wishing well. So just take a look at the card. This is from, of course, the Enchanted Map deck. I actually lost one of these cards like in my deck. So we're missing one, but that's okay. Wishing well. Okay. So what's the energy of today? The energy of today is the wishing well energy. And it's also number 48. So, I always pay attention to the numbers, which is 12, which is 3. Okay. So, right. What I mean by that is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 plus 4 is 12. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. So numerologically speaking, this card represents both 48 and It's perfect for you, Mom. Yeah. So it also represents number 3, which is that. So I find number 3 is such a wonderful number because it's like the Trinity. It's a very spiritual card. All right. So let's look at the wishing well. Let's see what Colette Baron Reid has to say about card number 48. Desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. Oh, this is good. So now that you're seeing the relationship between desire and inspiration and sensing that moment of truth when you feel the inception of new life, it is an aha moment when everything makes sense. Perhaps you recognize a soulmate or are conceiving a baby or an idea. The wishing well card awakens you to the presence of unseen forces that enable new beginnings. Divine intelligence activates the field of possibilities where new life is co-created in a magical way. Neither you or no one else, nor anyone else can know how or why this happens. It just does. To that end, you can't control the process of growth. Rather, you must step aside to be a channel for higher forces and relinquish any attachment to how this new creation should appear or when. Form your intention and take action by dropping the coin into the wishing well. Then trust in spirit. Prepare to be amazed. This is awesome. And it goes completely in line with what we are talking about today, which is that whole process of awareness, acceptance, and action, and the action you need to take. And we didn't talk about like the next step, which this card actually talks about the next step, which is surrender, right? And I will talk about surrender. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. But the idea of surrendering your expectations, right? It is, you can only do what you can do, right? You can only take the action that you can take. And then the rest, you need to leave it to the universe. You need to leave it to God to take care of you, right? And you really need to lean into that trust. And the wishing well is a lot of that. The wishing well is just telling you like, look, take the action, set the intentions, do what you need to do, and then just leave it alone and let the universe take care of the rest. Let it unfold in the way that it is meant to unfold for your life. And if you are always acting as if everything that happens in your life is for your highest and greatest good, or at least practicing that, well, that practice is what's going to keep you going, because we are always creating the next level of our life. Danny B, yes, you're coming to a 48. That's right. You're turning 48. Well, next year. You just turned 47 though, right? I think so. Mom, yes. Okay, you're not expecting a new life, but new beginnings. We are always in new beginning times. We are always creating a new version of us. And there are moments in life where they are big transitional moments and they're very obvious. Getting married, having kids, like those monumental things, right? But then there's also life transitions that happen throughout your life. Such as, my situation where my husband passed and now suddenly I'm in a whole new life. So certainly new beginnings most definitely applies to me, whether I like it or not, right? Or, if your kids are going into college and you're about to become an empty nester, that's a whole new life. That's a whole new beginning. If you are just, and I feel like so many people are going through this right now, if you are just at a point in your life where you are feeling a little bit lost, a little bit disconnected, or maybe just tired and just feeling stuck in where you are right now and not knowing where to go next, but knowing like something has to give, something has to change, then you are in that transformational period. And within that transformational period, all of these things that I talk about on Me First, all of that applies to you. If you are at a point in your life where you're like, I can't keep going like this. This doesn't work for me anymore. Whatever this might be for you, whether it's your career, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your own personal evolution, and you're like, there's things I wanted to do I haven't done, and the time is now to do them. If that is how you're feeling, then please take these 3 steps, and I'm going to repeat them again for you today. Start with awareness. Recognize where you are without judgment, without shame. It doesn't matter how you got here. You are here, and you have had an incredible amount of experiences in your life that has made you become the person that you are today. So Embrace that, right? That's the acceptance. Accept where you are and accept it with grace and with love for your own personal evolution. And then, of course, the third step is take an action. Take any action. Just get moving in the direction that you want to go, right? And if you're stuck or lost or afraid, any action will just get things moving, and then you can start discerning what feels good and what doesn't. When you start taking action, even if you don't know what to do, any action will bring you clarity. And clarity is the key to momentum. It's the key to getting things moving in the direction that you want to go. So as long as you're facing the right way, no matter how fast you're going, just like in a car, you're going to get there. Whether you go slow, whether you go fast, 20 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get there as long as you're faced in the right direction, as long as you are energetically moving in the direction that you want to go. You're doing great. And I really, really want to stress that point for you. No matter what happens, you're doing okay and you can get through this. Oh, Danny, I'm so happy. I'm so glad that you were here. And listen, I'm going to say to whoever's watching this right now, if there are topics, if there are things, if there are questions that you have that you want me to address, or you want me to apply the Me First formula to it, or, you want to talk through it, I would love to. So just, write it in the comments or send me a DM on any of my social media channels. I check them. Just let me know what you're looking for or where you would like more guidance. And of course, if you need more support, if you're going through something and you're just like, I just need someone else to mirror back to me what's going on. I just need someone to witness this. I need someone to validate this, or I just need someone to kind of help guide me. I'm your girl. Trust me, I will get you through to the other side of whatever it is that you're struggling with, because I know you can do it. And I'm not going to do it for you, but I will be there holding your hand all the way. All right. And in the meantime, if you don't want to contact me directly, that's okay. Go watch my channel. I have lots of excellent information there, lots of tips, lots of strategies that you can start to apply to shift your perspective, to help move you in the direction of the person you really want to become, regardless of where you are right now and how tough things may be. There's a better way, and I'm going to help you get there. Okay. Me First Moments on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you have not yet followed me on Instagram, I'm trying to get 1,000. So go there right now and spread the word to your friends. I will be back. I love you all and have a wonderful, wonderful day.